Let's discuss them because many of them are afraid of prelims. Fine, welcome. Okay. The reasons for not qualifying the exam is the first thing is unpredictability. The prelims exam, the weightage of questions, we are not sure very much aware of the questions. 10 years back, science and technology questions formed a minor part of the prelims paper. But today, if we see the recent paper 2025, almost the science and tech part was almost equivalent with polity. It became as important as polity also. So we have to observe the changing trend. The second thing is negative marking of prelims exam. So we cannot put whatever comes to our mind. We have to be very careful, and our confidence must boost our attempt. The third thing is vast syllabus of the prelims exam. So you have to cover almost all the mains exam syllabus, plus you have to cover the current affairs as well. And for the non-science background or non-engineering students, or even some of the engineering students, the setback is the CSAT paper. So today we will discuss how to approach the thing. First of all is to observe the changing trend. So for example, in 2025 paper, never before has a question come on calculations in economy part. So in 2025 paper, we have one such question where fiscal deficit is given as 50,000 crores and non-debt creating capital as capital revenue is 10,000 crores and interest payments is 1.5 thousand 1500 crores. And what is the primary deficit? He has given four options, some 48.5 thousand crores, 50.5 thousand crores, something. He has given four options. So many of them who lack conceptual clarity will try to somehow perform operations with these three numbers, adding to subtracting this one, or adding these to subtracting this one, something or the other, and they'll get. So those who have conceptual clarity, they say that this number completely is redundant. He just gave this to confuse the students. So the primary deficit, something we have to calculate is, we have to subtract fiscal deficit, we have to subtract interest payments from fiscal deficit. We have to subtract these two, and 48,500 crores is the answer. So something like to confuse the students, he is giving such numbers. And also there was other calculation problem also. Two calculation problems came from economy this year. So this is one such changing trend. And towards the approach of the exam in 2023 was one of the most shocking papers, where he has eliminated the process of elimination itself. He has given options only one, only two. I hope all of you are aware of that thing. So we have to grasp the changing trends and be ready for the unpredictable things. So such should be our approach, and our conceptual clarity is the one which will help us tackle ambiguous situations. The second thing is we'll go about the approach to how to study the subjects. I hope all of you are decided or fixed upon your sources. So anyone who is still not very much confident on sources of any subject, like ancient history, medieval, polity, economy. So all of you are decided with your sources, right? Yeah, so okay, so this, so yeah, you have any doubt? Source, the GS subjects, history, polity, economy. So if all of you are decided with your sources, you have to allocate a 3-hour time period every day for the preparation of the subject. So if you are attending classes, whatever is taught to you in the class, that GS subject, you have to go home and read the standard book related to the subject. For example, today in economy, you have done the chapter of money and banking. Okay. So money and banking you have done in economy today. So the teacher has taught you. You go to your home or reading room and try to read the standard book, whatever you feel like. You may read something like Ramesh Singh or other books. I am not much aware of those books. but standard book you have to read that chapter what you have been taught that day. So every day 3 hours is fine, and you have to write answers on what has been taught to you on that day. In history, for example, you have been taught on art and culture on, for example, the Chola time period. So there have been two 15-marker questions in previous year mains exam on the Chola architecture as well as Gupta architecture, and he has combined the two into one question. So such questions you can try to write answers based on what knowledge you have gained that day. So this is for mains, and this June to February period mostly should be mains related, but it is not completely exclusive that you are not reading prelims. So, and for current affairs, like you can read newspaper, and I suggest you to read current affairs magazine. So my personal strategy is I didn't touch newspaper for 3 years. Recently I have started reading newspaper. I have started getting the habit. I relied only on current affairs magazine. You don't need to go into the feeling that compulsory newspaper reading is needed. So, but compulsory current affairs is needed every day. That may not be newspaper. You can refer to any coaching website, news compilations, which come by the end of the day. So, if you want to read that day's new current affairs, on the night of the day, mostly all coaching institutes will upload their news compilations by the end of the day. I personally have read Vishnu IAS current affairs magazine and News Today, which is available on their website. It is a free resource available under the resources section. So you can choose whatever you are comfortable with, but I suggest you to read daily current affairs, either be it from coaching institute compilations or newspaper itself. And current affairs magazine I suggest you to read because it helps to gain a mains perspective. If there is a, for example, in news there is for example an issue on the governor and the recent Supreme Court judgment on governor signing of bills. So in current affairs magazine will have the value addition like articles related to governor's assent on bills. What are the challenges posed in these recent times? What is the decision of the Supreme Court? What is the presidential reference under Article 143 for the Supreme Court, and some related case laws in earlier times like November Rebia case 2016 or BP single case in the earlier times. So all such things are compiled in 2 to 3 pages and they are given in the magazine. So if any question comes tomorrow in mains exam on let's say this governor's issue, you can just recall that article. In that everything will be there along with way forward itself. Way forward and conclusion also are given. So you can just recall that and just write it in the paper. So, and also do not try to make multiple notes. You are going to class, you are making a notes, and again you come home, you will read a standard book, and don't try to make again a short notes, because notes is only useful when you are able to revise it multiple times. So making multiple notes and revising all of them multiple times is very much difficult, because you have to read your optional also, CSAT also. So in the notes which you maintain, one notes which you maintain, if for example in class the teacher missed a particular concept by mistake or other thing, then if you come across in the standard book, you can just note the short points in your class notes itself. Don't try to make multiple notes, because during the revision time in February to May period, you have to revise your notes multiple times, and making multiple notes like economy making 2 to 3 notes, again revising those 3 notes with with standard book, that may be very much difficult for your exam preparation. So try to make only one notes and maintain one notes. And if you didn't get any concept right, or you didn't understand a concept, please consult your faculty or mentor. Don't try to by heart these things, because for example, anyone who didn't understand the concept of primary deficit, he may not be able to solve this exam in the problem, although he may by heart the formula. So concept clarity is much needed. So for example, if like all of you are aware with economy section, right? No, like, okay, not yet started. Okay, no problem. For example, in economy we have a concept. In budgeting we have a concept that paying back a loan is capital expenditure, but paying the interest on the loan is revenue expenditure. So you may by heart that, but again you may forget that. But if you have a conceptual clarity on why paying a loan is capital expenditure, but paying interest is revenue expenditure. So if you have a conceptual clarity, you need not by heart things. So try to get more conceptual clarity and consult your faculty or mentor for maximum to utilize their services to the maximum and get your concepts right. That is most important to tackle the ambiguity of the UPSC exam, prelims exam. And consistency is the last thing I'll tell in the approach to study, because consistently you have to allocate at least 3 hours every day for a GS topic, either in the class or you in your room or study halls. So to cover this vast syllabus of all subjects, starting from polity to science and technology, every day you have to allocate 3 hours consistently without missing, so that the syllabus gets completed at least once by the period of February. And focus on high priority topics like polity, economy, geography, environment, science and tech, and history. History in the sense ancient and modern mostly. Medieval history less number of questions will come, but the syllabus is very vast. If you see the NCERT of medieval history, it is very much big, thicker book, the Satish Chandra book, I guess. So it is a very thick book, and in that all the stories will come, like this king came and killed that king, and that king had a marital alliance with other king in other region. So that much is very much redundant for the exam. It is not needed to remember all those stories. You just read the main concepts, like if any keyword comes, like, so you can just highlight that keyword and revise it before the exam. That is enough. And let us come to the approach to exam plan. This will mostly come in the February to May period, 4 months period. In this 4 months period, one difference which will come from the rest of the time is that writing mock test. It is as important as your preparation itself, because in my first attempt I wrote nearly 75 to 80 mock tests, and in second attempt it reduced a bit to 65 to 70 mock tests. Because if you write a mock test, if you write 65 mock tests and go to exam, it will not be like a final exam, but will be a 66th mock test, that's it. So you will be a little bit more relaxed, you will be prepared, and even some questions will coincide with what you have written in mock tests. So this year I have wrote nearly 65 mock tests, and nearly 10 to 15 questions I could recall directly that I have written this question in mock test. I have attempted it either right or wrong, and I know what is the right answer. So for this thing you need not have any preparation for specifically. Apart from mock test, one important thing is previous year questions of prelims papers. So you take compilation from 2011 to 25. You go to the UPSC website and take a printout of all these papers, nearly 15 papers. You take this printout and you just compile them, and you have to analyze this. Analyzation is nothing but you have to read all the questions, attempt them, and if you get any option wrong or if you get any question wrong, just go to Google, research it. Like the answer key will be given by many coaching institutes. Just read the answer key and write beside the option which you have got wrong. So also, even if you have got some option correct, in that option there will be 3 statements. Like most of the questions will have 3 to 4 statements like this, and there will be options 1, 2, 3 are correct, or 1, 3, 4 are correct, or 1, 2, 4 are correct, or something like all of the above are correct. So in these statements, at least 1 to 2 of them will be wrong. So if this is wrong and this is wrong, try to write beside this option what is the correct thing, because these 2 are wrong. So for example, in geography he asked about match the following on locations. He gave this option as for example, Sitan Mosal caves, he gave this in, for example, let's say Madhya Pradesh, but it is actually in Tamil Nadu. So you write beside this that these caves are in Tamil Nadu, because in future these options will become as the source for next questions in future exams. So try to compile all such things before the exam itself, and keep revising only PYQs in the last 15 days apart from static part. So don't try to go any institute mock tests. Also I am stressing to write nearly 60 to 65 mock tests. You need not join any test series in any institute. These mock tests are available for free in Telegram channels, or there is a website known as UPSC free materials online.in, something like that, it is there. So you can get the test series PDFs from there. So you have to attempt the test series and also read the answer key. Reading answer key of all the 100 questions takes nearly 3.5 to 4 hours. Don't think that it is a waste of time. So attempting the mock test is one such aspect, and reading the answer key is equally important aspect, because if you don't read the answer key, you may just calculate your score, like correct the options and calculate the score, but what options you have gone wrong, you may not be able to revise, or you may not be able to get correct what things have been gone wrong in your attempt. So please read the answer key. Writing the test takes 2 hours and reading answer key takes nearly 4 hours. Totally 6 hours will go every day, but believe me, it is very productive, very much productive. And also, apart from mock test, how should you go approach towards revision in the February to May period? So I'll just mention my case. So I just had a weekly timetable. So Sunday to Saturday, apart from writing mock test and reading answer key, 6 hours are gone. I had 3 hour slots. Every day 2 slots for 2 subjects, and such 7 such days in a week. 14 slots have come every day. And for example, say polity, economy, geography, environment, science and tech, history and current affairs. So polity, I'll allocate 3 slots, economy 3 slots, geography 2, environment 2, science and tech 1, history 2, current affairs 1. I hope it became 14 slots. So for example, on Sunday, the first slot I'll read polity, and second slot current affairs, and again polity will come on this slot and this slot. This day economy, something like that. You can fill the slots. If you, for example, if you are a art student and you are more difficult with science and tech, but you know geography well, so put 1 slot for geography in 1 week and make the science and tech slots 2. For example, like that you can divide. For example, if you are strong in economy, you make this economy slots 2, and something like current affairs, you can increase 1 slot here. So that is up to you. So this thing I have followed, may be useful for some of you. And also, if you attempt mock test, you will get an idea that how many questions you have to attempt in the final exam. So initially when I started mock test, I used to attempt nearly 55 to 60 questions. I used to get my score around 70s. But gradually, by practicing more mock tests, I have increased my attempt above 85 questions, and I used to get comfortably above 100. So in mock tests. So in 2023 prelims paper, I attempted 87 questions. The paper was very much ambiguous. I scored around 89 or something. So in 2024, I attempted 96 questions. Paper was relatively more easy, and I scored nearly 112 or 117, I don't remember. Because attempting more questions, although you may lose on your accuracy, but overall score will increase. For example, if you are not sure on 10 questions in your prelims paper, you are not sure in the sense you eliminated 2 options or you eliminated 1 option, and other options you are confused. For example, you attempt to, although you are not sure, if you attempt in 10 questions, even if you attempt 3 questions correctly, your overall score will go above, means it will go into positive things. You will get nearly 1 mark, plus 1 mark or something. Even in 10 questions, if you get only 2 questions right, still you will get only minus 1 mark. That is, you will not get very drastically low marks. So in 10 questions, getting 3 questions is not very much difficult, although you are not sure on the 10 questions. If you get 4 questions right, you will get into more positive marks, like plus 3 marks. So try to attempt more questions. Like I will suggest you, if the cutoff is nearly 85, attempting 45 to 50 questions will not work practically. because even if you get 3 to 4 questions wrong, I think you are out of this. So attempt nearly 85 to 90 questions, this I will tell. If the paper is relatively more hard, you can attempt relatively lesser questions, around 80 questions. If the paper is easy, try to attempt above 90 questions. And also at last, try to take care of your health, like you can do yoga, meditation, walking. Try to put limited time on social media, or you can use it productively for revising current affairs. For these things you can do, and if you have any questions, I will answer.
Sir, how to choose
Optional. I will tell 3 factors based on which you can judge your optional. First thing is, filter out what optionals are performing good, or what optionals you feel that you are not having a disinterest, or you will be able to at least allocate time 3 to 4 hours every day for consistently 2 years. So look at the syllabus of the optional. In UPSC website it is given, both for paper 1 and paper 2. If you find most of the syllabus as not interesting or very hard, very difficult, or you think that you cannot cope up with this optional, try to move to other one, like try to choose other one. And the second thing is the performance, how it is performing in previous years, or anyone passing out passing the examination with this optional. So that thing you do. And the third thing I will suggest is, whatever study material is available in the market, is it adequate to clear the exam? So some optionals are there like psychology, and some remote optionals like law, management optional, something like those optionals. Not much study material is available, unlike sociology or anthropology. So unless you have background in that optional, don't choose that optional. The standard subjects like sociology, anthro, geography, history, they all have adequate material available in the market, and performance is also good. But try to look at the syllabus. If you feel that you are interested and you can work on this for 2 years, you can go ahead with that option.
So, what kind of revision techniques have you implemented during your preparation?
So our revision foundation is laid during this period, June to February period. We decide on our sources. Every day we do revision, like every day we study some or the other part of that notes or standard book. We will do one full revision of the syllabus up to February, and again after February it is nothing but whatever we have highlighted, or whatever we have put important, put some concepts as important. It is nothing but studying again what you have studied, but reading it faster and reading more important things. So if we study one book, if we read it for the first time, we may take 1 month, but reading again the second time will take less than 20 days. So giving multiple revisions, the time period will not be as much as we have expected. So the first revision you do of the full syllabus until February, so you can focus on that. From February to, let's say, end of March, you will do your second revision, notes and standard book. From March to May, you do the important topics revision, like economy, polity and geography, something like that. So important topics, you try to do multiple revisions. Polity is an important one, you try to do 3 revisions. Like Indian society is not that much important, you just try to read second time and leave it. So figure out what are important topics, important subjects, and try to revise what you have read. So it is not very much suggested to follow new sources in the revision time period. You have to decide your sources now, study them once, and in the future it is nothing but reading them again. That is the revision strategy. Yeah.
Sir, how to manage distractions?
You can put like, for example, you are more addicted to phone.
Yes.
Try to put phone in your room and come to study hall. If you want to Google something, take your colleague's phone and try to Google thing and give him back again. So that is one thing. Like if we are not able to voluntarily put our phone in our pocket and study, it is better to try this technique. So I also have like addiction for laptop, or I keep reading all the movie things or cricket. So I also have that addiction. So I used to put my laptop in my room and come to study hall in Delhi. Yeah, that thing I followed and it worked out. Yeah. Okay, any other questions here?
So shall I ask you one?
Yeah.
So how did you do your answer writing practice?
So answer writing practice, actually I joined one coaching institute in Delhi, Vajiram and Ravi. It is a 10-month GS foundation course. Every day one class of 2.5 hours used to happen. In the 2.5 hours class, for example, today a class on Indian society has happened, and our teacher has taught the concept of, let's say, population. In the population topic, he used to teach the concept, give notes. I used to note down, go to study room, revise the notes, and after notes, as I said, standard book. I used to follow yellow book, like it's a printed material of Vajiram and Ravi itself. So I used to read that yellow book women chapter, and after that go to PYQs. Like I used to search in my phone PYQs, UPSC mains PYQs on women GS1, something. Sorry, not on women, on population GS1. Some 3 to 4 questions used to come, PYQs. I used to note down. For example, a 10 marker question has come. So in final mains booklet, it will be like question will be there, English question, and next Hindi translation. This page is empty, and again this page will come, and on the next page again next question will be there. So two sides will be there for 10 marker question, and for 15 marker this page also will be empty. So three pages will be given for 15 marker. So first I used to note down the question in answer writing booklet. I hope you are aware of that answer writing UPSC booklet. So I used to note down the question, leave 3 pages or 2 pages, whatever, based on the marks allotted to that question. And again next question I used to just write the question, and I used to put the phone aside. I used to on my stopwatch and start writing. So in the starting I used to write in paragraph form. Some intro I will write on generic terms. Paragraphs also what I get, what I recall from the book, or what I recall from the standard book. I used to just write that. So I used to just write this. I didn't submit this to anyone. So I opened again Vishnu IAS website. In that the resources section will be there. In the topper's answer copy will be there. In this topper's answer copy section, the PDFs of what they have written test series, mains test series, those will be uploaded. I used to just open there, for example, GS1 I have written a GS1 answer. I will randomly open one GS1 subject answer paper, and I used to compare what points they have written. Although the questions may not coincide with what they have written, but how they have given the introduction, what are the value additions which they have given. In the question demand, what subdemands they have addressed, and again have they written any, have they drawn any flow charts, have they drawn any graphs or diagrams, how did they conclude the answer. So I used to compare this with my answer. So starting it used to be very much different, and gradually I tried to write the points or examples or standard points or data points. I used to write them in what format I have got from topper's answer copy, so that it is just like molding our answers. if you don't have much belief on others, like others review, you just open the topper's answer copy, compare yourself, your answers. Also you can compare with model answers. So if there is a question, UPSC mains PYQ question, the model answer will be given in internet itself. So you can compare your answer with model answer to see what points you have missed out, what data points you have missed out. So the model answer and topper's answer copy are two sources which will guide you how to write the answer copy. So to all of this happen, you have to first start writing. So many people have that phobia for starting to write. So many people will think that we'll first complete the syllabus and then write. So whatever you have studied that day, that syllabus is completed. That much syllabus is completed. Take answer questions on that syllabus only, you can write. So the knowledge deficit is not that much present. So I'll suggest this strategy to write answer writing. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Sir, is it mandatory to read NCERTs, sir, like macroeconomics and Indian economic development, political theory? Is it mandatory to read NCERTs?
It is mandatory in the sense, I don't say it is mandatory. If you feel that, for example, if you are engineering, your background engineering, BTech. So generally in BTech we don't study about economy. Like we get confused with what are the terms like capital expenditure, revenue expense, money supply. We don't get those terms. Like if you are starting now and you are very much confused, if you want to read, then read. I attended coaching in our sir comprehensively explained, even for beginners also, like beginners also can understand. So I directly moved to the standard book. I didn't read NCERT for any subject. Yeah, geography also I didn't read any NCERT. I just moved to standard book. Standard book in a sense, I told yellow book, no, of Vajiram and them. I just followed that book and my class notes. I don't say it is mandatory to read NCERTs. Like it is mandatory to get the concepts right. For getting concepts right, NCERT is not the only way. You may have your teachers who have been teaching economy part, or you may have, if you are comfortable with standard books like Ramesh Singh or other books, you can read those books also, no problem. Yeah.
So in everyday classes we get notes.
Okay.
So we also add some points to that.
Okay.
Will that be enough, or should we also read a proper standard book, like to an extension of the same thing?
It is recommended to read a standard book. Notes should be complemented with standard book. Like only notes is not that much sufficient. In
Prelims aspects, sir?
prelims aspect also read both things, no problem. Even if it is getting repeated also, reading it will be like a revision, but not a time waste. But whatever you have read, you have to write test series to reinforce those concepts. So test series, when you are solving a question, you are recollecting those concepts, applying them in the question. I have told you the question about fiscal deficit and primary deficit calculation. So you have to recall what is the concept of primary deficit or the formula related to it. You have to apply that in the question. You have to solve it. So such exercise will reinforce the topics more solidly in your mind. Yeah, that. So any other?
Is there any difficulty you faced at the time of prelims and mains, and how can you solve?
I didn't get.
Is there any problem you faced in the prelims, in your prelims, and mains exam, and how can you solve?
So prelims exam, I faced one difficulty that 2020, I started my preparation in 2022 May. I gave my first attempt prelims attempt in 2023 May, 1 year time period preparation. So in that 1 year time period, the mock test which I have practiced, the mock test will have options. I know the statements will be given and the options 1, 2, 3 are correct, or 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4 or 2, 3, 4. So 4 statements are given. Which statements are correct? So mostly so in this question, for example, the mock test used to be designed like he used to give 4 statements, give 4 options and find out which one is correct. So for example, in this question, if I know that statement 1 is wrong, I have no idea about statement 2 or 3 or 4. I just know that statement 1 is wrong. So option A is eliminated, B is eliminated, C is eliminated, D is the correct option. Almost always this used to be the case in the mock test. 2023 paper was a big surprise to many of them. Such options were not given. 4 statements he used to give, and how many of the above statements are correct? Only 1 statement is correct, only 2 statements are correct, only 3 are correct, only 4 are correct. So if we should know all the four statements, whether they are correct or wrong, to answer such question. Even if we don't know statement 2 is, for example, we don't know statement 2, we have no knowledge about statement 2, then we can't answer this type of options. We have to know all the 4 questions, all the 4 statements. So this was a big difficulty in the exam period. Almost all of them were very much shocked. So again, you have to focus on what concepts you know in the prelims exam. So you have to apply your conceptual knowledge, sometimes guesswork also. Guesswork has much prevailed in this exam. For example, in 4 statements he has given, statement 1 and statement 4 are correct. So only 2 options of the above are correct. So someone who does not have knowledge, that much knowledge, he may think that statement 3 and statement 2 and statement 3 are correct. He will also mark only 2 options are correct. So coincidentally key will be correct. So this you have to recognize in the exam, and you have to attempt more questions. So like you cannot attempt 45-50 questions and expect 80 marks in such paper, unambiguous paper. So this thing I attempted relatively more number of questions, 85 questions I attempted, 87 questions. So this was a difficulty in prelims exam. In preparation I didn't find any difficulty. I told you how I divided my slots for revision, and test series I have written consistently. Preparation also I didn't find any difficulty. If I didn't understand any concept, I used to approach my faculty. He used to clarify the concepts again. He used to just teach them in brief to me. For mains exam, the most difficult part is time limit. So I had the practice of answer writing for nearly 10 months. Every day 3 to 4 answers I used to write. So that has helped me in managing the time limit. But those who are new to writing, they face the most difficult part is completing the paper. So these were some of the difficulties. In mains part also, some zero knowledge questions in paper 1. Like in 2023 mains paper, I faced this question. What is a fjord and why they form most picturesque locations in the world? This was the question. I didn't know, zero knowledge on fjord. I just had to write something irrelevant in that question. I think I got half mark or 1 mark on that question. So such zero knowledge question. In 2024 question also there was a question on twisters. 15 marker question in GS1. What are twisters? Why are they formed only in Gulf of Mexico? So twisters also I didn't know what is a twister. So such zero knowledge questions are a challenge in mains exam. Yeah. So these are the challenges mostly.
So, what are the books helped you in creative aspect to write philosophical essays?
Philosophical essays is actually writing essay is not it is not like art of essay. Like I feel that it is not art of essay writing. It is mostly clinical exercise. You have to be more precise. You have to write relevant examples, relevant arguments related to the essay writing, essay topic. I just So essay actually, in my case, I qualified 2023 prelims. I have zero essay preparation. In 3 months, mains exam is there. I just enrolled in a coaching center, Vajiram and Ravi, in essay course. Sir gave me some material, 11 PDFs on various topics like media, healthcare, science and technology, economic issues, international relations. Like that, 2 PDFs were based on reflective essays, that is philosophical essays. So I studied anecdotes and examples from those PDFs, and sir taught me what strategies or like what is the approach or what is the format you have to follow in essay writing. Sir has taught that in class. He made us practice. I used to practice in class of various PYQ essay topics. I just applied them in exam. So it is not like that I didn't be more creative. There was no need to be creative. I just went to coaching center. Sir taught me this format you have to write, this approach you have to give. I just followed that in exam. Yeah.
Did you left any questions without answering
In mains, no. All papers I have completed. Like if you, for example, in mains, for example, let us say my score, mains plus interview score was 965. So actually the mains score was 808 and interview score was 157. So in this 965 marks, let us say in GS1, for example, this was the case when I completed all the papers. In GS1, for example, I left a 15 marker question due to lack of time. I lose nearly 5 marks. So my total will become now 960. For this, my rank will go near 280 or something. In GS2, I didn't have time limit. It's like I didn't follow time limit and left other, let's say I left other 15 marker question. I lose 7 marks, 7 to 8 marks I lose. I'll get 953. My rank will go in 400s. For example, in essay writing, sorry, not in essay, in ethics, in ethics paper, GS4 paper, managing time limit is very difficult. And due to paucity of time, I left one case study, 20 marks case study. I lose 9 marks. So for this 953, again losing 9 marks will take me near 944 out of the list. 947 is the cutoff for general category for qualifying the exam. So leaving only 3 questions, GS1 1 question, GS2, GS4 1 case study. Again I have to prepare for next year. So this much importance is there for completing papers on time. So if you are from general category or even from other category, almost you have to complete all the questions to get an interview call. So for completing the questions, not even leaving one question, you need to have 10 to 12 months of consistent answer writing. Not 12 months, 10 months. 10 months consistent answer writing you should follow, so as to complete all the mains papers, because getting time limit correct is very much difficult and you have to be proficient in that. So you are aware that 10 marker question should be written in 7 minutes. 15 marker question should be written in 11 minutes. For example, on some particular day you chose to write 3 10 marker questions and 2 15 marker questions. So you should write these two in 22 minutes. You should write in 21 minutes. So total in 43 minutes you have to complete all these 5 questions. So if you want to write on that particular day 5 questions, you try to write within 43 minutes. And also quality questions by adding data or committee reports, articles, such value addition should be added. So all these things, time limit management, writing quality answers, will come through consistent writing. Yeah.
Did you face any unknown questions and how you answered?
What questions?
Unknown questions.
Unknown questions. Yeah, I have told no, in 2023 paper I faced this question in geography, 24 question, this question in geography. I tried to first leave these questions, zero knowledge questions, I will, after completing 19 questions, this will be the 20th question. This is not mandatory to write because everyone, not all of, like less than 1 to 2% people will know this answer. You can just leave it, or you can just write very irrelevant things, like I wrote something which I don't even remember now. So feared, I thought it was just like cave landform. I wrote something. In Twister, I thought this was related to river things, but this was something like cyclone and related to cyclone and low pressure systems. So both are completely incorrect. I don't know how many marks he awarded, but paper I have completed.
So you could clear your prelims with just 1 year coaching in that institute, or you had any prior?
Nine. I had zero knowledge of GS until I completed my BTech. So within 1 year I cleared, but consistently I have read the standard books. Whatever happened in class that day, that particular topic I read in standard book. So that was sufficient. And second, most equal, like equal to this, in February to May period I wrote test series. In first attempt I wrote nearly 75 test series. Yeah, how to approach the paper, that 100 questions in 2 hours, how to approach, like I developed my own strategy. That was sufficient. I was scoring well in test series also, so I didn't face any difficulty. Yeah.
In optional answer.
My maths. మీకు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంటే తీసుకోవచ్చు. గైడెన్స్ కొంతవరకు ఉంటుంది, ఈ మధ్య కొంచెం ఎక్కువ అవుతుంది. ఇంతకుముందు ఐఎంఎస్ అని ఒక ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఉండేది మ్యాథ్స్కి, ఆల్మోస్ట్ అదే మోనోపోలీ లాగా ఉండింది. ఇప్పుడు కొంచెం వేరే నెక్స్ట్ ఐఎస్ అని వేరే కొన్ని ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్ వస్తాయి. సో మ్యాథ్స్లో ఏంటంటే పీవైక్యూస్ కొంచెం ఎక్కువ రిపీట్ అవుతాయి, అవే కాన్సెప్ట్స్ వస్తుంటాయి. సో ప్రాక్టీస్ ఎక్కువగా. మెయిన్స్ 35 రాశాను మొత్తం, ఫుల్ టెస్ట్. 10 టెస్ట్లు ఏమో ఆప్షనల్, 25 ఏమో జిఎస్ అండ్ ఎస్ఏ. సో ఎనీ అదర్ డౌట్ మీకు?
Just elaborate on this weekly timetable once.
Okay. So I'll be more specific now. Actually, my day used to start at 9:30 to 11:30. I used to write one prelims test series, and 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock I used to read the answer key of the test series, and again from 4:30 to 8:30. This will include some half an hour or 1 hour break also. This will be one slot 1. And from 9:30 or so to 1:30 in the night, this will be slot 2. Actually, these are 2 slots for revision of GS test series. This is this slot is revision of GS subjects, and this is for test series. Answer key revision used to take 4 hours. Writing the test in final exam also, we will have tests from 9:30 to 11:30. The UPSC prelims will happen at 9:30 and conclude at 11:30. So this used to be the test. For this slot 1 and slot 2, I used to draw actually a weekly timetable. Sunday, Monday, like that. From Sunday to Saturday, I used to draw one timetable. So 2 slots every day, 7 days a week. I got 14 slots. Now in the prelims perspective, some like the subjects are polity, economy, science and tech, environment, history, geography, current affairs. These are the basic like subjects you have to read for prelims part. Now based on the so these 7 subjects I have to fit in those 14 slots. So based on the importance of these subjects, you can allot slots like based on your importance. Like if you feel that I am weak in history, history is more important, you can allot more slots to history. So like that, for my perspective, polity and economy I felt most important. I allotted 3 slots to them. Science and tech I am relatively much comfortable, so I allot only 1 slot. Geography 2, history 2, environment 2, current affairs 1. So so I allotted the number of slots. I have to fit this in these things. So I will start with economy Sunday morning, polity, and again this slot will be polity. So Saturday evening I will read current affairs, and again on Thursday morning I will read science and tech, and again here I will read economy. Saturday morning economy, environment is left, environment, geography, history. So randomly I have allocated for example Monday evening slot, like in the night 9:30 to 1:30 period I will read history. In Friday evening in the period from 4:30 to 8:30 I will read environment. So such slots like this is mostly like a weekly timetable. So in this thing I used to do the revisions of all the subjects. So if you feel that you face environment more difficulty, you may allot 3 slots to environment by reducing 1 in economy. So like that you can tailor to your needs. This was my strategy actually. Yeah. Prelims మెయిన్స్కి టెస్ట్ సిరీస్ ఇప్పుడు అవసరం లేదు. మీరు డైలీ ఆన్సర్ రైటింగ్ రాస్తే చాలు. మెయిన్స్కి 1 hour టైం పెట్టుకోండి, మీకు కుదిరిన ఆన్సర్లు రాయండి. అట్లీస్ట్ 3 to 4 ఆన్సర్స్ మోడల్కి చూసుకోండి. ఇప్పటివరకు ఇది చేస్తే సరిపోతుంది. ప్రిలిమ్స్కి మీరు ఫిబ్రవరి నుంచి జాయిన్. టెస్ట్ సిరీస్ అంటే మీరు ఏదో ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్కి వెళ్ళి రాయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. టెలిగ్రామ్లో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ విజ్ఞ IAS 35 టెస్ట్లు ఉంటాయి టెస్ట్ సిరీస్కి, అవన్నీ అప్లోడ్ చేస్తారు అలాంగ్ విత్ ఆన్సర్ అండ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్స్. సో మీరు ప్రింట్అవుట్ తీసుకోండి ఆ టెస్ట్ది. టెస్ట్ ఆన్ ఎన్వైర్న్మెంట్ అండ్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఎన్వైర్న్మెంట్ ఎకాలజీ మీద ఒక టెస్ట్ ఉండింది, అది మీరు 100 questions ప్రింట్అవుట్ తీసుకోండి, ఆన్సర్కి ప్రింట్అవుట్ తీసుకోండి. 2 hours టైం పెట్టుకోండి స్టడీ హాల్లో కానీ మీ రూమ్లో కానీ. 9:30 నుంచి 11:30 వరకు మార్నింగ్ టెస్ట్ మీరు అంతటి మీరు అటెంప్ట్ చేయండి 2 hours. నెక్స్ట్ ఆన్సర్కి చూసుకోండి ఎన్ని మార్క్స్ వచ్చాయని, ప్లస్ ఏ క్వశ్చన్స్ అంటే కీ మొత్తం చదివితే బెటర్, ఏ క్వశ్చన్కి ఏం ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ ఉందని. సొంతంగా. ప్రిలిమ్స్కి ఏంటంటే మీరు కరెక్ట్ చేసిన అన్ని మార్కులు వస్తాయి, పక్కనోడు కరెక్ట్ చేసిన అన్ని మార్కులు వస్తాయి. ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ వాడు కరెక్ట్ చేసిన ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ వాడు టెస్ట్కి 1000 రూపాయలు తీసుకుంటాడు. ఆడేం లేదు, ఆన్సర్కి ఇస్తాడు, కరెక్షన్ చేసి ఇస్తాడు. జస్ట్ కంప్యూటర్లో పెడితే OMR స్కాన్ చేసి మార్కులు వస్తాయి. మీరు 2 నిమిషాలు ఇట్లా ఏది కరెక్ట్ ఏది రాంగ్, కరెక్ట్ అయిన వాటికి 2 మార్కులు, రాంగ్ అయితే -0.6 అది చేసుకుంటే సరిపోతుంది. సో ఏదైనా అన్ని మార్కులు వస్తాయి. సో ప్రిలిమ్స్కి అంత అవసరం లేదు. మెయిన్స్కి మీరు ప్రిలిమ్స్ అవ్వగానే జాయిన్ అయితే బెటర్. ఇప్పుడు మెయిన్స్ ఆగస్ట్ లాస్ట్ వీక్ నుంచి చేస్తున్నారు. మెయిన్స్ ఇంతకుముందు మెయిన్స్ అంటే సెప్టెంబర్ లాస్ట్ వీక్లో ఉండేది, September 21st అలా స్టార్ట్ అయ్యేది. ఇప్పుడు ఆగస్ట్లో లాస్ట్ వీక్లో 1 month ప్రీపోన్ అయింది. సో టైం తక్కువ ఉంది. ప్రిలిమ్స్ రిజల్ట్ కోసం వెయిట్ చేయకుండా జాయిన్ అయితే బెటర్. మెయిన్స్కి అయితే మెయిన్స్ టెస్ట్ సిరీస్ ప్రిలిమ్స్ అయ్యాక జాయిన్ అయితే బెటర్. ఇప్పటివరకు డైలీ ఆన్సర్ రైటింగ్ వస్తే చాలు. interview. Board chairman mostly focused on hobbies, jogging, playing volleyball. One member focused on technology part, home state, Telangana and AP. Like my home state is Andhra Pradesh, so on Andhra Pradesh he asked questions, and role of technologies in agency area something. One madam asked on higher education, means in IITs whether they were able to fulfill their purpose. So on higher education one discussion. One sir asked on green hydrogen mission and also on mostly on environment part. Other sir asked on school education part. I used to work in an NGO in New Delhi, so on teaching underprivileged children. So he used to ask the difficulties, national education policy. So it went according to my assessment, it went fine. But marks 157 are relatively less. So due to written total being 808, I cleared that exam. So
Average syllabus మొత్తం కంప్లీట్ అవ్వడానికి ఎంత టైం పడుతుంది?
10 months also. అదే జూన్ నుంచి జూన్కి స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారు అనుకోండి, ఫిబ్రవరి వరకు. సో ఇంకేమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా? థ్యాంక్ యూ.